Alright, glad I checked that now before I started. No guard? What the fuck? What was I doing last time? Blanka. Here he is. Not super mobile. His walk speed's it's pretty good. It's not bad. Jump arc is kind of vertical, not very horizontal. It's like fairly average, but he does jump kind of high. Um, Movement options, he does have some command dash and command jump kind of stuff, I guess. But for the most part, it's just fairly ordinary. His forward dash pretty good. Backdash is also pretty good. I would call him very slightly mobile. This is a very slightly mobile character. Oop. Um, but no like way to alter his jump arc midair or anything like that. When he gets midair, for the most part, he's already got a fixed jump arc. The one exception is a little bit of stuff with certain VT2 things, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Um, hmm. Throw range is normal, no air throw. Light normals. Stand jab is actually a 5-frame normal, unlike Street Fighter 4 where it was a 3-frame normal. It does go pretty far though. It goes farther than a lot of other light normals, but I think you can't combo into it from anything except another stand jab. You can chain into it, right? No, maybe not. Yeah, so like no light normal combos to stand jab. So basically stand jab is like its own little place. But it does go pretty far, which means you can get like kind of far away connects and then combo into it. So that's kind of like the one used at the end of a lot of combos. And the damage is okay, I guess. It's really the same as all his other lights. But this is the one you usually see in the combos because a lot of his attacks are like plus 5 rather than +4. So rarely can you do only crouch jab and not stand jab. And stand jab does go a little bit further, I think. Although it is pretty close. The crouch jab goes like pretty far too, to be honest. They're like right around the same range. Stand jab goes a smidge further. Crouch jab is 4-frame, and he has no 3-frame normal, so crouch jab is usually the one you're going to be doing, especially because Blanka has charge moves, and therefore crouch jab can be done while keeping down charge, and his down charge special is actually the one you usually want to end combos with. So oftentimes it's going to be the one you're trying to link into from various things. And then stand short is kind of notable because, one, it combos into itself, and also crouch jab, so you can get combos with it. And also, it pushes out very little. It actually pushes out the least of all his light normals, which means that even if you're point blank and you do one stand short, you're in range to throw them. You don't need to move, which is very important because you don't need to lose frames with your walk. So basically, you can kind of abuse it. And also, all the on block is pretty good. I think that one's +3. Yeah, +3 on block. So it's really fantastic. Stand short into immediate throw beats anything they could do. And if they try and tech that throw, they can maybe open themselves up to a stand short, stand forward, or something like that. I don't actually know the startup of stand forward is like 7. Yeah. So that's a 4-frame frame trap. And you could also do something like, I don't know, roll into a light. Not that. Something like that would also catch people hitting buttons. But this already beats people trying to do reversal throw. Or even delayed throw. Both of those lose. But a 3-frame jab can break through that. But, you know, if they don't have a 3-frame jab. And then he also has a 3-frame sequence with that stand short. You can do stand short, low jab. And you can't go to stand jab because it's too slow. But that all combos. It's kind of, you can charge. You can start with no charge. I got a negative edge ball. But he can start with no charge and do a light normal sequence that's 3. So that's kind of good. Not a whole lot of characters have that. Low short is exactly every other low short in the game. It doesn't go as far. It does combo into low jab. I think it also combos into stand short. Not that you would really do that. Your low confirm is just low short, low jab. And it has more pushback than any of his other lights, so you can't really do any sort of 3-hit light sequence, I don't think. Stand short doesn't cancel, right? Yeah, no cancel from stand short, so you've got to link out of it. I think you can do 3 stand short, no. But you stand short into low jab is like the combo you should be ready to do. And unfortunately, you can't have down charge for that, so you've got to go into your straight attacks like Blanka Ball. Pow. Enough about lights. Stem medium punch, I guess it's a poke. To be honest, I barely see Blanka players hit this normal. It does go pretty far. It does okay damage. It might have some utility that I'm not aware of. It like seems to be a pretty good normal in terms of hitbox and speed and whatnot. Maybe something about its... I think it's 6, right? 7. It's also 7. Plus 3 on hit, 0 on block. Nothing super interesting about this, from what I can tell. I don't know if I'd fuck around with that normal that much. Stay medium kick is the god normal. This is like one of Blanka's best normals. It's plus 2 on block. Ta-da. And it's also... It's got a TC associated with it. So if you do medium kick, hard punch, Blanka does this nice little sequence that does okay damage and stun. And the cool thing about that sequence, 1, it requires no charge whatsoever. 2, it confirms off of stand medium kick. So if you just walk in and do stand medium kick over and over to just badger your opponent, and it's a fucking damn good normal, you can just do it whenever you want. But if you just walk in and fucking badger with that normal over and over, anytime you see it hit, I was already in the right spot, you can just complete the TC. And anytime it's blocked, you can go in for a throw. That good, huh? Anyway, this is like the freest hit confirm in the universe. Unfortunately, there's no combo from stand medium kick besides the TC. There are 2 little exceptions to that. 1, if the opponent's cornered, rather than doing the target combo. If you're in the corner, you can end with an EX up ball instead of a hard punch. So that normally does 172.43. Now I did 234, 323. So a rather decent increase for 1 bar. You could do a lot worse. That's like usually worth the meter if you're in that specific context. Target combo on cornered opponent. That is there on cornered opponents. And then also the thing about stand medium kick is that it has most 2-hit attacks in this game. Well, I don't know. It's like a decent number in both categories. This 2-hit attack has the counter hit property on both hits, so it actually becomes plus 5 on counter hit, and you can react to that fairly easily. And then you can link out of it. So that was 195, whereas completing the combo was 182. So you can get a little smidge of extra damage. More importantly, if you end in Blanka ball, you can get a lot of extra stun. I don't know why I did that. So that does 343 stun, which is quite a lot. That's 343 stun compared to 263. So you're getting like 80 extra stun. So it's not a bad ender. Technically speaking, if you get the counter hit, you should not do the TC. You should end in one of those enders. But the TC is very reliable. One kind of notable thing is that you can often get stay medium kick to only get 1 hit. And that includes only the first hit. That happens occasionally. And if it gets only the first hit, it's actually unsafe. Doesn't happen too often. I did it on accident earlier. Now I'm only getting the second hit. There's a very, very specific range you can stand at. What I'm trying to say, though, is that if you get only the second hit, or if you get only the first hit and then do the hard kick follow-up, and the first hit connects, the TC still works. First hit with no second hit into hard kick still follows. Still a combo. It's more practical if you're using this in neutral, or if you're like walking in and then doing it. You can like counter hit them out of whatever button they hit, and they can recover kind of far away. But hard kick will still follow up. I'm not getting it, but it's there, I promise. One other tiny last thing about this TC is that you can V-trigger cancel either the stand medium kick by itself or the stand medium kick into the stand hard kick. And both of those are quite good. Stand medium kick into stand hard kick launches. Stand medium kick by itself is just plus a lot but leaves them grounded. Plus 9. Is that fast enough to combo Stand Fierce? Or far enough? Stand Fierce might be 10. You can get left forward there anyway. Stand Fierce is 11. Shit. Slow. I thought it was 9. Anyway. Stand medium kick is a really, really good button for pressuring because it's plus 2. So on block you can just follow with a crouch jab to beat anything they do. Or you can like go in a little bit for a throw. You can't throw immediately. You can just annoy with it though. That's like the key. And then if you ever see it connecting, you can do the TC. Oh, Kihara, you said the same thing. Counter hit normally. Yeah, plus 9 becomes plus 11. And also apparently, stand medium punch. 2 stand medium punches in a row, point blank, will beat. Maybe not even point blank. Will beat a lot of stuff characters can do. Is that on hit? Good counter poke maybe. Low strong. It's got a little bit of utility. Its main utility is his anti-air. It's probably his best anti-air. 60 damage, so not super duper strong, but it is upper body invincible, so it's fairly easy to anti-air with it. It goes quite a bit over his head, so you don't have to worry about them being too close. It also goes decently far out, so you don't have to be that afraid of them being too far away. So overall, it's like a pretty solid anti-air normal. It does cancel, so you can cancel it as an anti-air, but they do have to fall kind of a lot. But you can get some kind of sneaky resets into command grab or into his hop or stuff like that. Oops. You can cancel it to kind of surprise the opponent, I guess. So that's the thing is I did this. I got the second active frame or like the third or something. If you need like the earliest active frames in order to be able to cancel it. Apart from that, it has very little pushback, which is really nice because it gives you like low strong into electricity up close. Leaves the opponent still very close, and that electricity is +2. So you can do like low strong electricity, low strong or something like that, and get some pressure going. Low strong is moderately fast. I think it's 6 frames. Yes, 6 frames. -3 on block, 0 on hit. So you should usually either hit it on a standing opponent, a jumping opponent, or you should cancel it. Electricity would be a good example of something to cancel into. But it is a good anti-air normal, and it is good for pressure. I quite like doing low strong as a poke into the light grab. I've had good success with that on everyone I pulled it out against. And it is a very good cancel into electricity. Usually. Gotta be kind of close. What else about it? That's about it. It probably does some other thing that I'm not thinking about. Low forward is a confirming normal, I guess. Technically speaking, it's minus on block, actually. -1. But on a hit, it's plus like 6, +5. So anytime you actually get a low forward, you can confirm it into a low jab up ball. It's a very common ender. And that's a very good little combo for confirms. Like that's good after a cross up, for example. Or after even a jump in, maybe. It's a very non-committal like thing to go for into a low forward. -1 is not so bad. And it is a low, and you can combo out of it on hit. It also goes into, if you're too far away, maybe you can do like stand jab into hard Blanka ball. Very common ender. You can't always do like low jab into up ball if you're too far. But stand jab will often work at those ranges. Pow. So it's used for being a low. It does a little bit less damage than its other mediums, as always for low forwards. Used for being a low, used for being a confirming kind of normal. I think you can't have inherent charge and combo out of it though. Let me double check. If that has inherent charge, it's precise. It is there, but it's precise. Hard Blanka ball is pretty easy. Yeah, inherent charge off a low forward, so that's quite good. Let me see here. Stand hard punch. This button's pretty interesting. It doesn't go very far at all. It looks like it goes kind of far, but it really doesn't. You know, that's like it's not very far. It doesn't go very far at all. It looks like it's got a big old sweeping hit over his head, but I think the actual hitbox isn't there yet when you're doing that, so it's not a great anti-air. But let's try it out just to be thorough. Well, that wasn't very good, was it? I did it a little late. Let me do it earlier. Yeah, I don't like that. Its main draw is that it technically is the strongest cancel he has. A whopping 80 damage. So you can use that for certain cancel stuff. Unfortunately, it's a standing normal, so you can't actually cancel it into vertical roll. Well, technically you can, but it's like restrictively difficult. More importantly, it's the only normal he has that combos into his V-skill follow-ups, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when I talk about his V-skill. But that's a combo, and that's like the route to his max damage. It also is a crush counter, so it's really not far enough to be like a big range cancel. But if you block something that's very unsafe and crush counter punishable, this is the route to his max damage. It's the only crush counter he has that leaves the opponent grounded, I think. Both Stem House and Crutch Fierce knock them over. So, there's a couple things you can do. I think if you don't cancel it, you can just get a slide, which is not bad, but not great. If you do cancel it, you've got... the common one I see is hop forward. And then from that hop forward, you end up being like +7, +10, I guess. So you can do... The very common follow-up is TC. Pow. Very easy. Decent damage. You can also do low forward. The one thing you have to be aware of is that if you're doing low forward into low jab, that won't work absolutely point blank. That actually did work. Maybe it doesn't work on all characters. Okay, there you go. The cancel didn't work. So the reliable thing to do is to do hard Blanka ball all the time, or just to check where you were when you started the combo, because, you know, from here that works. But if you end in a Blanka ball, it always works no matter what. So that's another route. But let's compare the damage really fast. That was 235, 466. And that was 247, 369. So you get a ton more damage from doing the Blanka ball combo, or a ton more stun from doing the Blanka ball combo, but you lose like 10 damage. Yeah, Crush Medium Kick as an empty cancel is pretty good. It's a low commit normal. Very small hitbox on this. I should have talked about that, but it's like a decent poke. It goes further than it looks, but not way further. But you can just kind of cancel it right away. Unfortunately, empty cancels on a charge character are always a little bit iffy, but it's really not bad. You can cancel into oh, low forward cancels by itself. I should have mentioned that. So if you want to cancel straight away, like sometimes you'll get like a really far away jump, and if you do like low forward at the stand jab, it'll whiff. Like that. And you can avoid that by just canceling the low forward right away. And that actually makes combos a little bit more consistent. Like if I want to do low forward into low jab, that was too far away for low jab. But if I did like low forward into, that was kind of close. Up ball straight away, it works. So if you see that you're going to be hitting, you can cancel low forward rather than trying to link out of it. And that can be really important for combos. Anyway, Staying Fierce, you can actually do another Staying Fierce, like a micro walk Staying Fierce. It's kind of precise, but technically speaking, that's the max damage route. There it is. Because another Staying Fierce can then go into his V-Skill Punch. That's a good thing to be able to do if you're a Blanka player, so I advise practicing it. But if you don't want to do that, you can always just do a top stuff. You don't even need a brain to do that combo. Which is good because you're playing Blanka. Stand Roundhouse. Technically speaking, it can anti-air, and it's a little bit stronger than slow strong, but it doesn't make his upper body invincible, so it's usually kind of bad. It often trades, and it can actually lose outright. But it can win. It also has a crush counter. The crush counter kind of launches the opponent. It looks like it would be quite good, but it's not. If you're point blank, which you will never be, because this move is actually quite unsafe, -5. If you're point blank, you can get a slide. That's like almost a non-factor because it's very impractical to actually land like that. If you're not quite point blank, or even if you are, you can get a hard Blanka ball, but you have to be pretty close. Actually, you have to be really close, shit. The most practical ender, which is the way they probably envisioned you use this, is juggling into super, I think. That even has less range than I thought it did. Does this cancel right away? No, it doesn't. Alright, the fact this has a crush counter is not even that good at all. There it is. You can also V-trigger cancel it, but the follow-ups there are pretty much the same, to be honest. Just still into Blanka Ball, or still into Super. Things don't change that much. So all in all, the fact that it's a crush counter is not super relevant. I think there's something about this. Doesn't it airborne or something? I wouldn't use it like that, to be honest. It's like, it's minus quite a lot. -5 is kind of a big deal. He has a crouching hurtbox on frames 6 to 34. I thought he had some kind of low immunity on this. I feel like he might. I feel like he has some kind of low immunity at some point during this animation. But I don't see that listed on FAT, so I could be completely wrong. This might have some low immunity shit. Maybe it was that one I was thinking of. I feel like that's not true. I feel like this is not low immune. It's definitely not throw immune. In Street Fighter 4, it was low and throw immune. But in this game, I think it's neither. I don't know. Stand Roundhouse is another button that I basically never see Blanka's hit. Crouch Fierce is a decent poke as they go. It's not fantastic, but it does go pretty far, and it also travels rather quickly. It's useful for some of his empty cancels, particularly in V-Trigger 1. I'll talk about that when I talk about V-Trigger 1, but it does go pretty far. It might be throw invincible, Stand Roundhouse. It cancels into super only, so if you're, if you need to punish something really far away really fast, low Fierce into super is okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. It's a crush counter too. the crush counter is a super unfriendly crush counter. You can V-trigger cancel and get a... There's no follow-up normally if you juggle. But if you cancel it, you can use the V-trigger to... I mean, you can use the crush counter to give you extra reaction time. And then super on reaction to the crush counter. Definitely a feasible thing. Technically speaking, the cancel window on Crutch Fierce is rather long, so you can just react to a hit versus block and super only on the hit. It's possible. It's definitely possible. You don't even need the crush counter helping you, but the crush counter makes it even easier. But Crutch Fierce just combos into super on hit or crush counter. Range doesn't matter. If you V-trigger cancel it, I think you get hard Blanka Ball, regardless of V-trigger. Nothing else super interesting. Okay, so it has like anti-low frame, anti-low hitboxes, but no low immunity. Very interesting. Crutch on House, I have not a lot to say. It goes actually really fast for a sweep, but it doesn't go very far at all, and it's still quite unsafe. So it's just a little bit, sacrifices a bit of range for a lot of, for decent speed. It's 8 frames, which is rather quick, but then you look at his frame data and you realize he doesn't even have +6 anywhere. So you don't even know a counter hit combo into it. It's like probably not that bad of a sweep. It can struggle to punish other sweeps, which is a bit annoying, but Blanka's punishes are actually pretty good because of Blanka Ball. He can actually usually punish unsafe stuff regardless of range. That's pretty much it for its normals. We got a command normal. We actually have a few. Down Towards Fierce is a slide. It goes under fireballs pretty well. I would call it one of the better anti-fireball moves in this game. It's not instantly fireball immune, but it's fireball immune pretty quickly. And it goes quite far. So a lot of characters who are very fireball happy, Blanka can just kind of shut down the fireballs with a well-spaced, well-timed low. If you're like this close or closer, you're gonna have like a really hard time reacting and doing it in time. And if you're like this far away or farther, you might not actually hit the opponent throwing the fireball. Depends on the character. Ryu gets really wide, but like I wouldn't hit Nash there. But it's like, you know, it's a good answer to fireballs, which is good because EX ball doesn't go through fireballs anymore. But that's the main purpose of it. The other thing it does, which is kind of cool, is it's very plus on V-trigger activate. So if they block it, it's, I shouldn't say very plus, it's +4. It's a safe, like half screen, full screen, quarter screen. It's like a safe 2/3 screen low, and with V-trigger activate. And it gets you closer in a context where you can, you know, where you recover before they do. So it's a very good V-trigger activate, but technically speaking, there's no combo out of it. It's just a slam if it knocks down. There's no juggle or anything. It's the same as V-triggering a sweep. It's just basically a really, really big sweep. So he's kind of got a little bit of freedom there between those two. You got like the really long range one and the really fast one. So his sweep options are actually rather good, I guess. Not that that matters that much. But that slide is a pretty good normal. Good for V-trigger activates, good for going through fireballs, good for surprising the opponent who's not blocking his toes very often. Forces the opponent to hold down back, and then when they're holding down back and waiting for you to slide, maybe you can sneak in some command grabs or something, I don't know. Torch Strong is an overhead. Bonk. Like every other overhead in this game, it's -6 on block, so enjoy that. There's no TC into it or anything, but however, it is +2 on hit, which is abnormally good for an overhead, so it's still Blanka's turn after he makes you eat it. You do have to do a little bit of walking to actually grab them, but in terms of like an overhead being +2 it's pretty rare in this game. There are very few +2 overheads. Very few. So it's definitely, it's usable. A lot of people tend to like hit a 3-frame jab or something as soon as they eat an overhead because most overheads are neutral, and people without the matchup experience on Blanka won't necessarily be ready for him to be plus. Is there another command normal I'm forgetting about? He doesn't have that many. Got the TC. I talked about that pretty much as I could have. You got the hops. So I should have talked about these maybe when I was talking about movement. Technically speaking, they work like special moves for canceling purposes. If a move doesn't cancel, you can't cancel it into a hop. But if a move does cancel, you can cancel it into a hop. All cancels into hops are unsafe. Like, not even just minus unsafe. Like, on hit Stand Fierce, which is the most plus I can possibly be, is -5 with a hop. Which means it's -3 with a counter hit hop, I guess. I don't know. No, it's not. Because counter hit, crush counter for that normal. the point is, hops. If Blanka does a hop at all, the opponent reversal normal will beat anything that Blanka can do. So technically speaking, the hops are purely for surprise value. But that's true for like Ken and Laura and all the characters with command dashes. So it's not like staying fierce and top is bad. It's just that if the opponent like happens to hit reversal normals, they'll punish you. And it is technically reactable, although it is rather easy to sneak in. The hops can travel through the opponent, and if you're fighting someone who's not really used to Blanka, maybe they can get surprised by that, and you can hit in with some attacks on the other side. Definitely a feasible thing that can happen. But no combos out of it, unless it's crush counter. Mediums and lights into hops are maybe harder to react to, but also even more unsafe. Jab into forward hop is minus fucking 16, so, you know, be careful. Back hop works too. That one just gets away. One thing I will say about hops is hop forward into up forward is no one seems to anti-air that jump. You kind of get surprisingly close. People don't really know how far a hop goes, so they're not really ready for you to jump from that range. So like hop forward into jump forward is like it's something that a lot of people aren't ready for yet, and probably won't be ready for a while. Yeah, this hop is the slowest command dash in the whole game, I think. I think that's it for hops. There's not a whole lot to say about them. They're mostly just movement oriented in this game, and they are used for that one crush counter combo. I guess they're used out of V-Skill. There's a little bit of freedom with them because of the way that V-Skill works, but that's really more properties of V-Skill than anything else. Let's talk about V-Skill. He crouches. If you hold down, he crouches for a really long time. Unfortunately, there's no like cancel for this crouch. You just have to wait for him to finish. So it's kind of committal compared to other games. I mean, even then, you can it doesn't cancel immediately, even in like older Street Fighters. But I feel like he crouches kind of a long time in this game. Crouching goes under fireballs, so you can use this to dodge fireballs, but you really don't get anything from it. Like technically, you can duck under almost every fireball in the game with this shit, but you don't get V-meter or anything. So Blanka has some follow-ups for them from this. He can hop away, and he can hop towards. So V-Skill into hop is a thing, and you can actually kind of have a little bit of fun with that, with cancels into V-Skill, because V-Skill also works in cancels like a special move. You can do kind of like safe attacks like that. That's not really a whole lot better than this. But the thing is, it adds a layer of mix-up with the other stuff, because that's kind of non-committal. They can't just do something as soon as they see the hop. I mean the crouch. You've also got the forward hop, which, you know, hello, which you can sneak in for like a fucking hit or a throw or something like that. And if you hit kick during the V-Skill, he does a little jump. And this jump is very easy to anti-air. It just is a regular jump. There's no like special properties about this jump compared to his regular jump. But it does have a slightly different arc. And also, if you're doing like, you know, cancels into it, you can kind of surprise people with a jump that they might not be expecting. That arc can be kind of hard to scope, and most people won't anti-air it, although it is very possible to anti-air as almost every character. But the thing is, if you're watching for that kind of jump, then maybe he can get some kind of hop pressure on you, some forward hop pressure. Or if you're watching for either of those, maybe he can just turn it into a back hop. He can be kind of annoying. None of those options are that good in and of themselves, but the fact that he can do any of those three things is quite strong. I wouldn't call it that strong. It's like, okay, it's usable. And then the other follow-up is a punch, and it's a big old launcher. Technically speaking, you can juggle into it, but he doesn't really have any practical juggles into it that I can think of off the top of my head. The only combo into it besides that is Stand Fierce. Stand Fierce, V-Skill, punch. It causes a free juggle state, so you can juggle into anything, including normals. The very common thing to do is a light or medium up ball. I usually use light. I think light's the best one, but I could be wrong. Light seems to have Light seems to have the longest super cancel window, and that does the same damage as medium. Pow, but that's like the best for both damage and Okizeme. That's the best ender, I think. But hard Blanka ball does a little bit more for stun, and then you can also juggle into hard Blanka ball, which I just said. Hard Blanka ball's a bit faster, so you gotta wait a little bit. You can also juggle into a slide or a normal into a hop. Something like that would be kind of sneaky. He actually has some really good corner abuse with like stand short as a reset. You can do like I think stand short into dash, and then that can be a cross up or not based on what height you hit the stand short. and there's certain heights where it's basically a 50-50. Like, it's really hard to react between the two. But you can get some sneaky cross-ups like that with a delayed or instant dash and a hop. I mean, a stand short at various timings. I seem to always... Oh, maybe it's a walk, actually, and not a dash. Yeah, I think it's a walk. And if you get it kind of deep, then it won't actually cross up. Whoa. That looks pretty tricky already. Yeah, there's a cross up. So that looks pretty hard to deal with, to be honest. It's like a tiny walk, then a stand short, and then another tiny walk. And based on when the stand short happened, it's either a cross up or not. It's very hard to react. So he's got some nice little mix-up potential in the corner with it. And then after the cross-up or after the non-cross-up, either way, you can do stand medium kick and then get, use that to confirm. How? Something like that would be very common for Blanka players. What else about V-skill? There's probably something I'm forgetting about V-skill, but for the most part, it's mostly just used for his max damage combos. Good shit. Good follow-up. How? That's like a very common Blanka jumping combo. Let me see here. What else? Let me look at his move list. V-trigger? It's a little early for that. I didn't talk about a super at all. Special moves. I guess we'll move on to those. Rolling attack. This move is pretty much the same exact way as it was in Street Fighter 4, except in this game they all knock over. So you got a little bit more safety. In Street Fighter 4 it was only the heavy one. The heavy one does the best damage and stun. And it also travels the fastest, so it's the easiest one to pick up punishes or stuff like that. And it's the best one to complete combos with. Oh yeah, V-skill, that's what I was forgetting. Let me give myself less V-meter. The V-skill punch is the only thing that actually builds V-meter. And also V-skill, buttons from V-skill jump-ins. Even though the buttons are not themselves, even though these are just regular-ass jump normals, they build V-meter if they're from the command jump. So you really want people blocking these if you can help it, or eating them. And then this also builds V-meter for like the combos and stuff. And it's quite a lot, but it's quite difficult for Blanka to actually build a V-trigger using that because it's very... No use of V-skill is technically safe. Let me see here. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Blank balls. The hard one doesn't bounce very far off the opponent on block, so it's very unsafe against the whole cast. The medium one does a bit less damage, travels a bit slower, and bounces a little bit further off the opponent on block. And then the light one travels the slowest yet, and doesn't travel very far either. And if it's blocked, it bounces very far off the opponent. And depending on the character that you're fighting, like this is minus quite a lot. Let's get a hard number. I should have looked on Ryu's side. Minus 19, okay? But look at how far away Blanka is. So certain characters can punish this pretty easily. Like Cammy can always drill it. Balrog can always dash punch it. But certain characters really suck at punishing it. Like Ryu actually has no punish unless he's in VT1 or he uses super, or if he parries the Blanka ball. So like Ryu actually struggles to punish that quite a lot. The upside is that it won't work from far away. The range is rather shit for the bounce off. I shouldn't call it shit. It's like half screen. So even if Blanka, even if you block it, you just take a bit of chip. And Blanka he's already not at the range to do it again. He just moves himself out of light Blanka ball range. So it's not like he can just do it infinitely or anything. He's got to find his way back in or whatever. He's got to return to neutral after he makes you block it. So it's not too busted even if it's truly safe. But different characters have different punishes. Yeah, Ryu's punish if he parries it is quite good because Blanka doesn't bounce off nearly as far, I think. So Ryu if he parries the light Blanka ball is pretty nutty. But a lot of characters have really shitty punishes. A lot of characters require at least one bar to punish, and sometimes the punishes are really hard. Like Akuma has to do dash into EXDP to punish it. And of course if Akuma has an EXDP drop, he's dead. So it's good to it's good to know what your opponent's resources are and what their punishes are, and then spend the Light Blanka Ball if they don't have the appropriate resources. It's quite a good special move. EX travels at like the distance of heavy and the speed of heavy, and it does more damage. And if it's blocked, it actually bounces to about the same range that the light one does, at about the same timing. So it's about the same safety as the light one. I don't think it's exactly the same, but it's close. And then it has about the same speed and range as the heavy one. It also knocks down on hit, like a special knockdown, a juggle state. And from that juggle state, you have... is it just EX up ball? I feel like it might be something else. But I can't think of anything except EX up ball. Well, you have EX up ball. Successful on hit EX Blanka Ball leads to EX up ball. That's not a bad 2-bar. I didn't do a super optimal combo. Can you do like... That probably works. I did. So something like that would be very optimal. So that's not bad for 2 meters, to be 100% honest. But it's not great. 2-bar combos are usually not that used in this game, and that's not like an amazing... A good 2-bar combo needs to add like 100, 120 damage compared to a meterless combo, and that doesn't add that much. It adds like 70 or something. Let me see. New special move. Up ball, I guess. So all versions of up ball technically do the same damage and stun. The different versions choose different angles. So light goes very slightly horizontally, slightly vertically, very horizontally. Medium goes at nearly a 45, like a 50, and hard goes straight up. This is it's not a fantastic anti-air, but it's definitely a workable anti-air, particularly the medium and heavy one. The medium one seems to have the most consistency, but heavy has slightly better. It depends on where they are. Where they jump from, you'd rather do medium or heavy. They both work pretty well. They do tend to trade, but the trade is actually not that bad at all, because from the trade you can juggle a super. But even if they don't, if you do it early enough, it like probably won't trade. It's like fairly easy to time it. If you just do it as soon as you see the opponent jump, you can fairly easily counter hit them before they would naturally be hitting a button. But even if they trade, it's like kind of worth pursuing the trade. It's like a Street Fighter 4 vanilla, like anti-air light DP from Sagat or Ryu or something. I'm trying to get the trade, but I have Ryu kind of doing a late button. It's actually very easy. And it works from really far away. Excuse me. Just drinking. Apart from that, it's good for ending combos. I've been doing the light one to end a ton of combos. They all do the same damage and stun, so the light one is the one you probably use for ending combos. That's a common combo that ends in an up ball. Nice. That's a common combo that ends in an up ball. The really notable thing about up ball is here's a Blanka Ball into 4-dash. That was minus quite a lot. It's got a hard number. Minus, I don't know. It was like minus single digits. But it was minus. Minus 11, maybe? I can't tell. I need to look at Ryu's number and not Blanka's, but it's only on the screen for a sec. Anyway, I don't have time to dash there. But if you get an up ball to end a combo and they quick stand, I am actually plus quite a lot. I'm plus 9 after forward dash, and I'm also point blank. Whoa. So up ball to end a combo followed by forward dash is guaranteed, and will leave you... I mean, it's different if they back roll, but then I'm even more plus, so I can do actually even a little bit more approaching. Up ball into approach is very good. It gives you the best Okizeme. You actually get like follow-up pressure if you end combos in up ball. So ending combos in up ball is good for that. And also it's very strong. Like hard Blanka Ball is 100. And up ball is 120, so it's technically speaking the strongest ender you have. So it's the ender you want to use if it's available. One thing that is worth noting is that Blanka Ball does 200 stun, and this one only does 150. So if you're pursuing a dizzy, Blanka Ball can be a better ender. If Ryu parries Blanka Ball, he gets 4 jump, medium kick, stay medium punch, crutch, hard DP. That's damn good. That's really good. He gets a jump in punish. What the fuck? Hold on, I gotta drink again. EX vertical roll, EX up ball, is a flash kick basically. It's invincible. It's not armored or anything. It's just invincible. It's unthrowable. It does pretty good damage, 150, 200. It comes out at a nice angle, so it's good as an anti-air. It doesn't go straight over his head, but if you just wait a little bit, then it will anti-air. It auto-corrects very easily because it's a flash kick motion. So you can very easily have Blanka just turn around. But you do have to be kind of careful about when you time it. You want to get it deep if you're using it at ranges like these, or else it'll like just whiz under Reeve's body and not work. Let me show a demo of it whizzing under Reeve's body because I timed it wrong. Actually, that went pretty well. How about here? Yeah, so something like that. So you've got to be kind of careful about when you use it. It's not just a free anti-air, but it is a good anti-air. And then it's also a good get-off-me tool because it is upper body. I mean, it is full body invincible and also unthrowable. It's crush counter punishable on block. Nice up ball. So Blanka, I'll hold up as soon as I recover, or rather, I'll just hold up, and then when I jump is when I recovered. Takes a little while, and if you're hit during that time, it's a counter hit state. So Ryu could hit me with hard kick or something like that. Don't have it blocked. Same as any other EXDP in this game. It's good, but don't let them block it. Just know that every time you do an EX uppercut, you're taking your life in your hands. That's all I gotta say. It's useful for a lot of juggles because there's a shit ton of juggle potential. So like any time where you can get a juggle for the most part, I don't know about that one, because that one's kind of far away. But anytime you can get a juggle for the most part, you can go into EX up ball, and that's quite useful for stuff. You use that a lot in BT2. Let me see here. Yeah, you can do a donkey kick thing. Stand strong, crouch fierce, EX donkey kick, hard DP for a bit of extra damage. Electricity, I guess. Electricity on whiff. You can mash it. It's not fantastic to mash. You can hit Blanka out of it fairly easily with a lot of stuff. I think lows are good, but I haven't actually tested that in this game. It only takes 4 buttons to activate electricity, so it's fairly easy to just cancel into electricity straight away from various things. I'm trying not to overmash because I don't want to EX electricity, but if I did overmash, I could get it every time. But I would be very inconsistent on whether I got EX electricity or not. But even with a little bit of practice, which I haven't actually invested yet, it's fairly easy to just cancel into electricity, even if you're not canceling from a punching normal. The electricity range is pretty shit in this game, so after even 2 blocked lights, I think you're too far away. And like any combo, it won't combo. Yes, this is how to play Blanka. So it's really shit, the range. It is +2 on block, which is kind of good. Most special moves in this game are not even safe, let alone plus. But the pushback is enough that you usually won't get any sort of real follow-up pressure. You know. Like, if it's absolutely point blank, you could do electricity into walk and throw. But usually you're not going to be doing an absolutely point blank electricity. If I do like a low forward into electricity, which is something you see quite a lot, that's still quite close, but it's not like, I don't know, I have to do a decent amount of walking. If Blanka walks at all, he doesn't have charge anymore. And if he doesn't have charge anymore, then he's not super scary. You've only got like this thing to be afraid of. All versions of electricity are the same, so nothing about that. He does have an EX electricity. It launches. There it is. EX electricity is... The damage isn't amazing, but it gives you a juggle state. The common ender is like slide, I think. And I think you can also do hardball. Both of those are really good. Or it might be hardball and then you can also do slide. I think hardball would be the better one to go into. And then also, technically speaking, you could do an EX ball, I think, right? Or no, that doesn't work. I think that's just VT1 that you can do that. Nice. Yeah. EX ball doesn't have as much juggle potential as hardball. So no juggle there. Oh, isn't there medium kick into electricity? No. I thought there was something like that. I can't think of anything else to say about electricity. EX electricity is technically speaking optimal for his 1-bar stuff. If you're going to do a 1-bar combo. the best one-bar route is to do EX Electricity. But I don't even remember if it works after this. I think it does. But it's hard. I think you have to do like a slight delay. I don't know why I activated. I think that can actually juggle. But it looks like a nightmare. It's like fucking task stuff. Walk-in electricity. Don't even worry about that, honestly. But if you're doing something like a crush medium kick combo or something like that. Nice. I did 2 EXs instinctively. I don't know how to play this game. There you go. Nice mashing me. That's technically speaking optimal one-bar stuff to do EX Electricity. It adds more damage than any of his other one-bar options do. But Blanka's not really a one-bar character for the most part. I don't know. I wouldn't be using that one-bar. Put it like that. If I'm doing one-bar stuff, it's probably like EX uppercuts. Okay, so, is that all special moves? You got this guy. Half circle back punch is like a hop. Different versions or different ranges. It's basically Birdie's Bowler Adventure. It's like the same fucking move. If you do the big versions, it does more damage. But it goes farther, so you have to be doing it at those ranges where it works. That was 190, 200, whereas light is, I think, 170. 170, 200. So pick the appropriate version based on the range, but be aware that the light one is still reactable, and the medium and heavy one are even slower, so they're extremely reactable. So you can sneak this in if the opponent's not really expecting it, but you've got a good chance of dying. If the opponent holds up, they get a full jump-in combo on you, so be aware that you take your life in your hands when you do this. But if you do it meaty, actually, you recover before the opponent can come down. So like if you do this, if you get like certain knockdowns, you land on them, and they get grabbed. But if they jump, you can anti-air them from their jump, so you can get some really annoying cheap pressure from that. But Blanka doesn't have a whole lot of knockdowns that allow for that. What else? It's just really easy to sneak in. The EX1 you can steer. The EX1 does good damage and stun. 190, 200. Okay, not really good damage and stun. That's the same as the fucking heavy one. I thought it was more than that shit. It's also upper body. It's got a lot of immunity, from what I can tell. Blanka already jumps over hitboxes. It's very easy for Blanka to dodge something while he's doing this attack. Like, attacks will just tend to whiff on him. It's actually very hard to counter hit him out of it. He can be anti-aired out of it. Usually you neutral jump instead, but if you go for an anti-air, it will work. But the EX1 seems to have quite a lot of invincibility. Definitely Fireball invincible, I can tell you that. But it seems to have... I can't tell for certain, but I've seen it go through attacks that look like they should probably hit it. So it might have some actual invincibility too, and not just Fireball invincibility. But it's not until, like, on the part where he's coming down on you, it's definitely hittable. But it's faster than the other ones. It's more reactable because it's yellow, but it is faster, and it does go through Fireball, so a lot of people won't necessarily be expecting it. I don't know. Not a lot to say about that move. You can't really combo into it. Technically speaking, there is a combo into it. There's one. I will show it off just because it exists. Here it is. That's a combo. Counter hit only. Spin stun is you're in a throwable state in spin stun. I think you can do a normal throw there too, to be honest. Which might actually do more damage. Left to EX Thunder works, you need to delay between 2 and 10 frames. I mean, by frame data it should work, because it is a free juggle state. Anything should technically juggle. By juggle count, it should work. And then we got one more. We got this guy. This move is basically completely revamped from Street Fighter 4. Rainbow Roll. Different ranges for different button presses. That was light, then medium. Here's heavy. It goes pretty far. Blanka, even on block, Blanka does not bounce off of you. Not only that, but it's actually safe. It's plus. So if you block that, it's still Blanka's turn. He can then make you block a couple jabs, and then if those jabs worked, he can then up all you. And not only that, but that's actually all a combo. So it's basically like a jump in. And similar to a jump in, you can anti-air it. It's like if Ryu just hits crouch fierce, it'll beat it. But the trick to this move is that he doesn't have to be doing the one that's landing on you. He might be doing the one that just does this. And if you whiff a crouch fierce there, and then Blanka could potentially punish you. So it's kind of non-committal. It's like a more non-committal jump. It's a sneakier jump. Unlike Street Fighter 4, it has no cross-up hitbox. You cannot cross up with this. It will only ever hit on the front. So it's not... You can't actually sneak it in. Or anything. You can't, like, you know... Your best hope with it is to just do it and hope they don't anti-air. Or do it with deliberately the wrong version and try and get them to whiff an anti-air. Naturally, whiffing this move, like doing deliberately the short version, is not without risk, because they could predict that you're doing the short version and just see you and react and sweep you or something like that. But the hard one does go pretty far, and the X one is, I mean, the light one is very non-committal. The X one, you can steer as well. It's not super steerable. You don't have a whole lot of freedom. It does go pretty far. That was actually farther than I remember. Take it back, quite steerable. It's the VT1 version that's not very steerable. It's still plus on block, and you can kind of wiggle around the opponent's head, but again, it can't cross up, so, you know. Damage is okay, but the opponent has no idea which one you're doing when you do the X1, because you can steer it, so, I don't know. But they already have no idea which one you're doing for this one. The X1 has a decent amount of invincibility. When he does this little hop step, it's like from frame 3 onward, I think. He's got invincibility going backwards, and then he has, like, while he's going up, he's invincible too. But when he's coming down, he can just be anti-aired. But technically speaking, you can use it to, like, escape a corner. That you can still get whiff punished because it doesn't go that far. But the invincibility means that you might dodge an attack and then you can hold forward, and hopefully, even if you get punished, you probably get out of the corner successfully. So that's like an option that's available to Blanka. It does have like a decent amount of invincibility. It's not frame 1 invincible though, so you can't use it to like break, like wake up pressure. I'm not even sure if it's great against frame traps. I feel like it is, but I don't want to. I think it does work against frame traps. Whoa. That's like a 5 frame trap. Let's do a smaller one. That's like +1 into 4. It's like a 3 frame trap. Okay, so that got beat. Well, I didn't get reversal. Yeah, see that? So it's got invincibility on 3rd frame. Onwards. But Blanka has EX up ball, so that's also a good reversal. In fact, it's a much better reversal. So if you're going to be doing a reversal, you'll probably be doing that one. That's all the special moves, right? Unless I'm forgetting one. The secret Blanka special move. Damn, he has a lot. Got that, got that, got that, got that, got that. Ground shape, rolling and rolling cannon. This V-trigger stuff. We've gone through most of his list. Doing pretty well, I think. His V-reversal is completely not notable. It's just he rolls at you. It knocks down and does 60 damage. It's the same as every other V-reversal in the whole game. Super, I didn't mention this about Super. I should talk a little about Super. I should have off like just a little bit. This game has a motion super rather than a charge super, which means you can actually do really far away Blanka balls and still super cancel them. That was a bit far. It's like here. And that technically means that you can get like pretty good punishes using that. And really good chip. See, I can chip Ryu out from here. Like if he's in V-trigger, I can just do a Blanka ball that's hard to counter hit, and super cancel it, and then that's a 2-block string. So, you know, it gives Blanka a really nice chipping option. Apart from that, the super goes really far for its first hit, and that makes it a fantastic anti-fireball. That's probably its main use. It's a very good anti. Whoa, Ryu, stop that. It's a fantastic anti-fireball. It actually goes a lot farther even than that. It's probably like here. This is Ryu, so he gets nice and wide. Against Guile or Nash, you'll need to be a little bit closer. Chun-Li. But a lot of people kind of disrespect Blanka's ability to answer a fireball. Well, maybe not a lot of them, but some people do. So if you got a super, you can just, like, get that fairly easily. A lot of people would throw a fireball quite willingly from here, and Blanka can actually punish that. So it's quite good. It's like an okay anti-fireball super. It combos from electricity, I think. Yeah, you never see that. It combos from Blanka Ball, which is more common. The motion's a little weird, but you can get used to it. And then it also combos from Vertical Roll. If you cancel Vertical Roll in its early frames, it combos into super. That motion is really strange, even to my fingers. Whoa! Oh my god, I'm trying to go up too early. It's because I was doing a buffered motion. But something like that. The motion technically is like down into quarter circle forward, up forward as your up ball motion, and then you can just do another quarter circle forward. But I have like no experience with that. But with even a little bit of practice, you can become consistent with that. I promise. It also works with his Stand Fierce V Skull combo, just for the record. Nice. I missed it, but it works. I promise. I hate this game. Oh my god, help. 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 Help me, I can't do this. Maybe I'll just do the old buffered or non-buffered motion and just roll really fast. That works, and it's also pretty strong. Get used to doing that if you're going to be a Blanka player. It's worth being able to land a super. Be better than me. I didn't go over his Zern almost, did I? There's not a lot to say. Jump jab. I think it can instant overhead. Maybe not. I lied. No, that's Street Fighter 4 I was thinking of, with the bite. Jump strong. I think it does nothing. Nice hitbox for air to airs, perhaps. Jump fierce is quite good. Jump roundhouse is quite good. You'll be doing those a whole lot. Both of them work pretty well as air to airs. Both of them work really well air to ground. Jump roundhouse is actually very tall, which means you can kind of do it higher up than most air normals. Which makes it very good at beating anti-air lights or something like that. It also just kind of, you know, it makes your jump effectively shorter. The sooner you can get them to block or eat an air normal, the less time that you have a reactable jump, basically. Jump medium kick is a cross up. Jump light kick might also be a cross up. No, it's not. But jump medium kick's a cross up. And that's honestly, it's one of the best cross ups in the game, I feel. It's like decently wide, but it also seems to have a smaller hitbox in my experience than most of the other cross ups. I've had good success with this. I can't explain it. But it seems kind of hard to beat with like anti-air lights, whereas most cross ups are fairly easy to beat with anti-air lights. It might not be better. It might just be fucking placebo. But it looks like a pretty good cross-up in my humble opinion. But jump hard kick and jump medium kick are the only ones you're going to be hitting most of the time. One thing I should mention is that his neutral jump fierce is unique from his forward and back jump fierce, which doesn't happen very often in this game. It looks like it has fantastic range, and it also looks like it starts fairly quickly. And it might have a little bit more frame advantage than his neutral jump roundhouse, perhaps. The damage is the same. That was plus 17. That was plus 18. It's like the same. It's just a unique hitbox and probably a little bit of extra reach, perhaps. What else? I guess we're just on to B triggers, right? There's nothing else. BT1, Jungle Dynamo. Oh, both V triggers are 3 bars, just so you know. Woo, here I am. It enhances up ball, electricity, and straight ball. And basically you get the X versions of them, like, for the most part. Blanka takes a big step forward when he does electricity, which he normally doesn't do. And that makes it a lot easier to combo into. Like, you can do, like, a max range, low forward, and suddenly combo electricity. And it gives you a knockdown. And it's not just any knockdown, it's all electricity knocks down. It gives you a launching state. And you can combo into his other special moves. So it's pretty combo friendly all of a sudden. That being said, if it's your last special move, you get 3 special moves in this. Each one takes a third of your V bar. If this is your last one, there's like no juggle. You can't go into hard Blanka ball. You can't go into EX up ball. You can't go into EX Blanka ball. There's like nothing to do if you end a combo with this. That's like no ender, I don't think. Yeah. So don't end a you can super, but don't have that be your last V trigger move. But it does go really far forward, and it's still plus. It's plus quite a lot. Let's get an exact amount. +2. So big step forward. You'll end up being this close, which is pretty close. You're +2. You can do another move, and then maybe combo into another electricity. And then you have that. That's the VT1 I was thinking about earlier. Stay medium kick combos into V trigger. I mean, yeah, V trigger electricity. And that's fairly easy to do. It's not bad. Stay medium kick into electricity. If you're running VT1, stay medium kick to electricity is probably the thing that you're going to be looking for. It's fantastic. Good damage. Good follow-ups. Blanka ball. It launches. And you get a follow-up. The only follow-up that I can think of is... You get super, if you have super. It's easier than it looks. It looks like it would fall out, but it actually works. You get up ball. And if your V-trigger runs out, you get EX up ball. Those are your enders. You might have like slide actually as well. I don't remember if slide works. Oops. Does that work? I feel like that doesn't work, but it might. Nah, no slide after electricity. I like the idea a lot, but he should probably have that, to be honest. He has it after regular EX electricity. Why not have it after fucking V-trigger electricity? One other thing that's worth mentioning about V-trigger 1 Blanka balls go through fireballs. And that's kind of good. So V-trigger 1 is pretty good in fireball matchups, I would think. V-trigger 1 electricity is invincible in the same way that EX electricity is, and it also has good juggle potential like EX. I mean, fuck. V-trigger up ball is invincible like EX up ball. It does good damage like EX up ball. It has good juggle potential like EX up ball. There's like no other thing to it, I don't think. It's one of 3, I think. 4? 4. It's one of 4 attacks in the game that's invincible and doesn't cost EX. Like fully invincible reversal. That doesn't cost EX. It's like Kami VT1 DP, Sakura VT2 DP, Akuma VT1 DP, and that thing. Up ball from VT1 Blanka. So, you know, having a free invincible reversal, I shouldn't say free, but, you know, having a non-EX invincible reversal is kind of strong. All these combo together fairly easily. Any A electricity combos into a Blanka ball, and any Blanka ball combos into an up ball. The problem is it's very easy to get a combo that just uses all of your V meter instantly. Well, that was the right combo. See, that does pretty good damage. Especially considering I didn't spend any meter. But, my V trigger's just gone. So, you know, not great. One thing I kind of forgot to mention about VT1 is that it does change your Blanka, your rainbow roll. They're all steerable. And also they can cross up. So he has shenanigans. Okay, there we go. And then a successful cross up rainbow roll leads to an up ball. It might lead to a super as well. I think it does. Oh yeah, but you lose because all of his special moves change. You lose a bit of freedom. That's a thing. That's a big deal. That's a thing that you have to consider with this. You no longer have access to your normal special moves. It's like fucking Sakura VT2 or whatever. Any of those special moves. Any of those V-triggers. Kami. It's less of a big deal with Kami. You can't do a regular Blanka ball, which means that on block your Blanka balls are actually quite minus. That was a light Blanka ball. So, yeah, really unsafe. These are still crush counter punishable, and well, these are still plus. Well, not that. Rainbow rolls are still plus on block, I think. Pretty sure. God, now I need to double check because I'm not dead sure. Yeah, +7, so they're actually safer. And then electricity is still +2. So basically, you have a really beefy combo you can go for potentially. Dropped it. But this one tends to wear out really fast because you lose access to all of your special moves. Doesn't tend to last that long. That's all I gotta say about that. That's VT1 in a nutshell. I don't think anything else changes. I don't think the grab changes at all. No matter what you do, it's a third of your V meter for every single special move you do. Let's get out Lightning Beast. So this one's a bit different. Blanka doesn't change that much. In fact, he doesn't change at all. All of his attacks still do the same damage, whatever. He gets a new special move, and the special move is kind of fucking good. On any Blanka ball, on any up ball, and actually on any Rainbow roll, Blanka can cancel into Hard Punch plus Hard Kick to get a zip. And the zip is actually pretty cool because you can do some really cool Jade Talbane style juggles. For example, off of a Blanka ball, you can do... you can do better than that. I did a very easy combo, but you can do like forward, up, back, forward, I think is technically optimal for screen carry. I did up forward at the last one. The timing can be kind of freaky, but it's the same every time, so just learn it. But usually you don't even do those kind of juggles. It takes 30% of your V-trigger meter to do the first zip, and then 10% for each following zip. So one full zip sequence, which is 3, you can only do 3 per jump, costs 50% of your V meter. But a single zip costs 30%, so you can do like 3 of those fairly easily. And that's kind of cool because your first zip can actually be a down forward zip. And down forward zips have juggles. And technically speaking, those up balls then also have juggles. Zip juggles. So you can get some rather neat, interesting juggle combos with this one. That was me basically making shit up. Look at that. Look at all that damage I did. It was pretty good for 1 bar. It was a jumping combo though. What else about this? So from Blanka balls, you get combos into zips. The very common one is down forward, because that makes them a little bit, it lets you juggle out of them, but you can also, and it just makes them recover faster, and it adds damage. But you can actually technically do forward, up, back, forward for a little bit of extra damage. I ran out of V-meter. And from EX up ball, you can do, I think it's, shit, up, forward, up, back, forward? Is that it? I don't know why I did that. I guess up, forward, up, back, forward. Whoa, Blanka, come back. I haven't done this in a while. It might be instant. It might be really quick for these. That was a bit too fast, but that looked really good. Still too fast. I give up after this one. I got it. Look at that. There's a little bit more combo-based shenanigans you can do with them. Like, technically speaking, you can combo into a super with a very particular zip. What is it? Something like that. That's the one in combo in trial mode. But I think there's a couple more. Nice. Anyway, actually, this is the least interesting part of this V-trigger. Because the real shit starts coming out once it's blocked, actually. A regular Blanka ball is quite unsafe. Minus fucking 17 or whatever. I didn't actually look at the number. Minus 19. But if you cancel into a zip, that was -2. Hard Blanka ball -2. That's pretty good, right? Not only is it a -2 Blanka ball, but it's a -2 Blanka ball that leads to a full combo on hit. So I would say that's, well, I shouldn't say a full combo, a pretty beefy combo on hit. So I would call that pretty damn good right off the bat, right? That's pretty annoying. You get a few of them. But it doesn't end there. The fun does not stop there, because that's actually the worst thing you can do with it. Up ball into Blanka ball, zip, can give you, it's a bit picky, a cross up. I don't actually know. I think you have to space it, right? I think that's a cross up. Let's have him not block it. Burst it only. So like this. Yeah, so that was a cross up. And then that also leads to full juggles. So if you do an up ball, you get some pretty mean stuff. You get cross up shenanigans. And I think those are safe. I need to double check. That was -5, so no, not safe. There might be ways to make that safer. I'm not an expert on Blanka. I'm just a moderately well-informed man on Blanka. And then the other thing that's the most notable about this is that a light Blanka ball, I forgot to make him block. A light Blanka ball is a fucking Blanka's +1 in that context. And depending on the range that you travel, I think it can also go to +2. That was a +2 one. It's plus, dude, plus. That's insane. Blanka's point blank and plus. I can do an instant throw there. That'll beat anything Ryu does. I can also go for fucking 2 crouch jabs into an up ball. I have a 50-50 for making Ryu block a Blanka ball, which is very easy to fucking make someone block. Very fucking easy to make someone block. Plus, I can't stress enough how good that is. Light Blanka ball into zip forward and to zip down forward is plus. It's plus. It's fucking plus. Plus is good. +2 is fucking amazing. A lot of people know about safe Blanka balls, but less people are aware of plus Blanka balls. One other thing about this V-trigger that is worth noting is that, yeah, guard all. EX up ball can be zip cancelled, and technically speaking, that is a crush counter attack that is now very far away, technically. But it's not actually a save. It looks like I'm saving myself from danger, but I'm not really. I'm like pretend saving myself from danger. I am better off by doing that. It takes a good chunk of V-meter to do that. So it's 1 bar plus 30% of your V-meter. But let's say Ryu blocks that, and let's say he hits sand hard kick on reaction to blocking it, which is what I currently have him doing. So I got the zip out, I spent the V-meter, and Ryu still hit me, and it still was a counter hit because I hadn't actually finished zipping yet. And that happens regardless of which direction I zip in. So the thing about this is if Ryu waits patiently for me to land and does hard kick, which is what like 90% of Ryus want to do, then he actually loses the punish opportunity because I zipped out of the way. If he waits before doing that hard kick, if he wants a grounded punish, he can't have it. He actually can't have it. By zipping away, I force him to go for an anti-air punish, which is naturally a lot weaker than a grounded punish. If I get punished in the air, I'm going to eat like Ryu stand hard kick into DP, or maybe Ryu stand hard kick into another stand hard kick. But if I get punished on the ground, I eat Ryu stand hard kick into micro walk, stand strong, crouch fierce, fucking activate, stand roundhouse, crouch jab, uppercut, super, I don't know, fuck, okay? I eat like a full combo from him hitting me on the ground. But if I get hit in the air, I probably only take like 200, 300 damage, which is pretty good. Situationally better, generally better, almost always better. So zipping away, maybe heavy thoughts is, fuck that, why would he even? Like, he can just hit me with hard kick. Or are you asking if he can, like, punish me once I land? After I finish zipping, I just, like, land and recover. Like, I might still be punishable, but, like, your best hope is hitting Blanka before he zips away. The EX up ball into zip takes a really long fucking time. You can't just zip away immediately. So, oh, I can zip in any direction, too. So if he's waiting for me, I could zip up forward, or like straight forward, or something like that. There's a little bit of shenanigans with, I forget what. It's like certain things into forward zip give you cross-ups on grounded opponents too, but I don't remember what they are. but they're there. They exist. But the zip is overall pretty good. I shut off some of the combos you can do. It leads to pretty powerful combos. Oh, I didn't show off the corner stuff, just for the record. If you're in the corner, the zip combo is up zip into up zip into up zip. Very easy to remember. That also goes for all his other Blanka balls. Actually, is it forward zip and top zip and top zip for regular Blanka ball? Anyway, very memorable. Just do whatever your first one would be and then just up ball. Pow. All struggles still work in the corner too. He just autocorrects. I think that's all I can think of for Jungle Dynamo. Is that the name of that? Lightning Beast. Jungle Dynamo is the first one. That's pretty much his V-triggers in a nutshell. One is enhanced special moves, and the other one is zip, 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 baby. Most people seem to be preferring his VT2. I thought it was cooler but worse, but now I kind of think it's cooler and better. So I understand why everyone's picking it. But VT1 isn't useless. The cross-up Rainbow Roll in particular I think is kind of good, although it's kind of hard to get like the perfect range and whatnot. And enhanced special moves are objectively pretty useful. It just goes away too quick. You stand medium kick, stand hard kick, VT, light, Blanka ball, DF zip, EX up ball, DF zip. Then you jump forward, medium kick. It's a safe jump to all wake ups. Neat. That's all I gotta say about that. Let's give it a go. Wrong activate. I didn't show this off. Well, I mentioned it was possible. But you can do that. Damn it. TC into stuff. That works, right? God damn it, why do I keep on doing that? Gotta wait. I zipped I was mashing zip just to see if it would work. So, light Blanka ball. Well, that was a bit wacky. I didn't wait long enough. Charged the wrong way. Waited too long, perhaps? I'm doing down forward zip. God damn it, why do I do that? I have to let him fall more. Well, that wasn't it. I zipped an extra time. Like that. Jump forward, medium kick. So forward, like that, maybe. I might not be getting this at the right height. Nice fucking V-trigger. I missed all my buttons. Like that? I feel like I'm not landing in the same place if you say, like, jump forward. I feel like I'm going in a wrong spot. EX up ball, down forward zip. And then jump forward. Should I be zipping down rather than down forward? Or rather, should I be neutral jumping? Or am I doing the EX up ball at the wrong time? Worked for me. Okay, nice and fucking helpful. I don't know what's going on with mine versus yours, but I believe that there's probably a safe jump setup in there somewhere. Probably a bunch. So just as a little recap of this little Blanka video. Low strong is a good anti-air. EX up ball is also a good anti-air if you want to do that. In terms of combos, low forward into stand jab into hard Blanka ball is quite good. Low forward into crouch jab into light up ball is very good. Stand medium kick into TC is quite good and requires no prior charge and also no talent. Stand fierce into V skill. I didn't mention this, but stand fierce is -5. So don't just throw out -6. So don't just throw out that move willy-nilly. It's good for punishes. into up ball. It's very good. If you have trouble doing up ball into super there, you can just do raw super if you want. But, you know, up ball into super is a lot better. You can also do hard Blanka ball into super, I think, so maybe that's good. Maybe you don't combo so good, do something like that. You don't lose that much damage, so. What else for combos? VT1 stuff I already just showed. VT2 stuff I kind of just showed. Does hop forward after EX ball set up a meaty crutch medium kick? I don't have any EX like this. I was not in a position where hop forward really looked good. Are you talking about EX up ball? That didn't look like I had any time to do anything. I'm kind of too far away. That's really not threatening a throw at all. No one would not block there. What else about... Yeah, I was doing EX Blanka ball. It's too far away. I don't even need to move. Like, I can just, like, you know, do my pressure from there. Are you just wondering if you can cross up? I think you can actually do a jump over there. That was not a jump over. That looked pretty safe, though. Looked like a moderately safe jump. What else? This move, pretty good to sneak in. This move, answer to fireballs. This move dodges fireballs. What do I normally talk about? Combos? I pretty much showed everything that... Like, Blanka's not a super combo-friendly character. I showed off pretty much every combo that's commonly used, which is not many. Electricity's good for pressure. Just fucking have them block it. Doesn't matter the context. V-trigger tends to come really late because V-meter's hard to build with this V-skill. And all of them are 3 bars. So if you can get it up, and then do some zippy zip zip zips. I've run out everything I have to say about Blanka. There might be like a little bit more that I forgot about, but I don't know. Super's good for punishing fireballs. It's also good for ending combos. Nope, I can't think of anything. I don't really feel like